Hi there. In this video we'll be covering, is hiring a book ghostwriter worth it? It can be challenging to write a book by yourself. Lots of authors end up getting help writing their book, and the rewards for doing so could be massive. So let's cut through the stigmas of book ghostwriting and focus on the opportunities. By the end of this video, you will learn why people choose to work with a book ghostwriter, the benefits that can result, and why paying for a book ghostwriter can actually help you get more money in the end. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. Is hiring a book ghostwriter worth it? I would argue yes. I've worked as a book ghostwriter now for 7 years. I'm biased, but I think that it can be so rewarding and empowering to work with a professional. Book writing is hard, it's challenging. There's so many things that you don't know when you're working on your book for the first time. When you're writing a book, you're writing your second book, you're writing your third book, there's still things that you probably don't know. It took me years of doing this professionally before I really unlocked the power of book writing. I came to book ghostwriting from journalism. I spent a decade working in New York City media, and I was focused on writing every single day, telling stories, editing, making sure that the stories were accurate, were told as strongly and as authoritatively as possible. And when I became a book ghostwriter, there was a lot of things I had to learn. There was a huge learning curve to book writing. And that learning curve is only expanding given AI, given so many other things that are happening in this space. You know, given the way that books are changing, given the way that opportunities are changing. And it really benefits authors like yourself to think about working with people who know this space, who know what they're doing, because if you just put a book out there without really understanding it, your book's going to fall short, the efforts aren't going to be as fruitful, the rewards aren't going to be as great, and you're going to miss out on opportunities. And I don't want that to happen to you. A big reason to work with a ghostwriter is to get your book completed, to get your book done. It's hard and challenging to finish your book, to finally get it completed, to get across the finish line. Working with a book ghostwriter can help you take it to that next level. There's a lot of times that I end up working with people who've spent years working on their draft and they're stuck. I think of a friend of mine, Jan, that I worked with earlier this year, and she was 80% done with the draft. She had worked on it year after year after year and got to the point where she said, I'm not going to be able to make quick progress. Then I stepped in. I was able to help her, and we had these meetings and conversations, and next thing you know, the book is complete. You know, it's so exciting when you can take this, just an idea or just something on paper, to complete, to finished, to say you're done with it. How long have you struggled with your book? How long have you carried this weight around? It's not fun. I've done it. I've worked on books like that have taken a decade to finish, and it's such a challenge to keep going. Working with a book ghostwriter can help narrow the gap, narrow the time. There's books that I've worked on that I've completed in 6 weeks, in 8 weeks, in 10 weeks, in 12 weeks. Now, these are more simple, straightforward books. Obviously, if you need to do a lot of research and interviews, it's going to take longer. But at the same time, it's going to help to build that momentum when you're working with a ghostwriter. Another big reason why people work with a ghostwriter, to take that professional leap. You know, when you want this book to reflect your professionalism, your progress, your success, you want it to be your best version of yourself. You know, and it's tough to do that when you're, working a busy job and you have family responsibilities and other things happening in your life. It's tough to find the time to write and to write well. Working with a ghostwriter can help you elevate your story and your message and make it as clear and as strong as possible. And think about the rewards coming from having that book reflect your professional self. You don't want to put out a book and say, this could have been better. You don't want to spend all this time on a book and say, wish I had spent more time on it. It's not so much the time element, it's the focus and the effort, it's the professionalism, it's all these things wrapped together. You know, you want to have the best possible book, and working with a ghostwriter can help you bring that message forward, and it can help you unlock the potential in your story. A big reason why you want to work with a ghostwriter is revenue. It can be costly to work with a ghostwriter, but hear me out on this. You know, if you end up spending $30,000 or more for a professional ghostwriter to write your book with you, to assist on the book's creation, yeah, that's money out of pocket. Maybe there's another $5,000 that you spend to bring it to publication. So there's $35,000 out of pocket. What if you get one client because of this book? What if you get 2 clients, 3 clients? It's about connecting the book with your sales funnel and helping a reader take the leap to want to work with you, to take that step forward, to become a client, a customer of yours. If you have high value offerings and you can get 1 or 2 people to sign up to work with you, you've now covered the cost of the book. That's massive. If you are interested in generating revenue, even though you're going to be spending money working with the ghostwriter is going to help you unlock the revenue potential in your book and turn your book into a long-term marketing asset that you can use for years to come. Think about the opportunities of handing your book to other people. I wrote this book. I want you to read it. I think you're going to love the message. Compare that to a business card, handing somebody a business card. Boring. The book is big. The book is exciting. The book is telling a story. It's getting them excited to know you, to connect with you, to understand your message, and maybe even to become a client of yours. There's so much opportunity that can come through speaking engagements, through client generation, through revenue generation, and if you don't work with the right people, you might miss that potential because you're not connecting all of the pieces of your book to your other offerings and getting the right call to action in place. Now, I know I talked about the cost of working with a ghostwriter, and it can be costly. It can be out of the price range for a lot of people. I get it. I've been there too. It's annoying when you look at some service that you want and you say, I don't have that kind of money. At the same time, there's other options available to you. There's also writing coaching. Writing coaching support is similar to ghostwriting, but with the ghostwriter is actually doing the writing and the author is providing input and research and ideas. With the writing coaching side, which is a fraction of the cost of ghostwriting, the author is doing the writing and the writing coach is offering support and guidance. So you're still getting a lot of the benefits of ghostwriting, while at the same time, you're doing the writing yourself, you're saving money in the end. So if ghostwriting is something that's outside of your price range, think about writing coaching. Writing coaching support is an alternative, and it's definitely something you should consider. I want to come back to something I mentioned earlier about finishing your book, because it is so important and so valuable to be able to get your message out there, to take this burden and unburden from carrying the story around for so long, to get your message out there, to be able to share it with the world is such an awesome thing. It's such an empowering thing. Think about the opportunities that can be created because of that. Think about the way that you can transform somebody's life. Not just your own life as the writer, but somebody else, the reader's life. By reading this, you could actually change the way that they think, they approach the world. There's so many things that you can unlock. And you sitting on this book and waiting on it and getting stuck with it and feeling this burden and shame and guilt and insecurity and fear and doubt, all these things pile up. You say, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through so much pain and struggle? You don't have to. You can unburden some of that. You can work with a professional and you can get it done. And you can carry forward empowered with this message and share it with the world. If you want to learn more about is hiring a book ghostwriter worth it, I'd love to talk. I'd love for you to reach out and connect and we can have a conversation and talk about your book, your message, your story, what you want to accomplish, and maybe the right path for you. Head to my website. It's goodghostwriter.com. You can click the link below and book a one-on-one strategy call with me. I'd love to hear more about your story and help you on your way however I can. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.